We're working with Lesson 8, Vector Drawing Techniques. Remember that there's vocab for this drawing techniques on understanding the difference between vector and bitmap images. You can get to your vocab by going to your computer graphics page on Canvas and then click on Assignments. Once you go to Assignments, click on your photography vocab, and then here it is. Just download it, save it, and then you're going to upload it to Canvas. So moving on, we're going to be getting started with page 189 at the very bottom. And it says, in this session, you'll draw a path around the coffee cup in an image and create another path inside that handle. We're going to learn how to subtract from the path as well, from a shape. Turn the page to page 190. So 190, open up Photoshop. You probably already have that open. And then you're going to choose File, Browse and Bridge. So I already have my bridge open, but I'll go ahead and go through this with you. So I'm going to go to File, Browse and Bridge. Great way to be able to see all of your images. So this semester I'm noticing that we're getting to the point where a lot of people are losing their files. They're not remembering where they're saving things. The best thing to do for that is to go to Browse and Bridge. Browse and Bridge is where you can see all of your files. You can see everything that's on your file. So if you have a bunch of stuff that's named very similarly and you have very slight differences in those files, you'll be able to see your individual files by going to Bridge, so you won't have to keep opening and closing different files. Click on this PC. Then you're going to go to your Student G drive. After you do that, you go to Art, and then Computer Graphics. Make mine a little bit bigger so you can see it better. 2018 Photoshop book tutorial files. Open that up. You're going to go to Lesson Files. We're over on Lesson 8. And then number 5 of your book says select the 08 end file. I'm still telling people after 8 chapters later, I do not save your end file. So anytime it tells you to open up your end file, you just read it and skip over it. Number 6 says when you finish looking at the end file, press the space bar again, then double click the 08 practice _ start file. So we're going to double click that to open it up, and it looks like it's opened. So you can minimize or X out of your bridge and then save it. So in order to save it, you're going to go to File, Save As. You want to save your working files on your H drive. If your H drive is full, you need to delete stuff off of your H drive, empty your recycle bin, and if it's still full, move some stuff over to your Google Drive for permanent storage. I would say you do not need to keep any of your lesson files. In fact, don't keep them because you're not going to use them for anything in the future. Delete all of your lesson files from your book. If there's something that you want to keep your creative projects for portfolios. Okay, so you always need to resave. You need to save your work like your book tells you to save it. And we're going to type working. And then you do not need to type the extension. Photoshop will do that for you. You need to make sure that you're in the correct pathway. So you need to go to your H drive, go to your computer graphics folder, and then go to your folder. You should have a folder here that's called book tutorials. I don't have one, but you should have one called book tutorials. You want to hit save. And there you go. Okay. So let's skip over. We're going to go to page 192. On page 192, it says, in the Tools panel, select the Pen tool. Here's your Pen tool. In the Options bar, here's your Options bar. In the Options bar, select or verify the following settings. Choose Shape from the Tool pop-up menu. So right here, I had to change mine originally. So you need to make sure that this says Shape. In the Paths option menu, make sure that the rubber band is not selected. So we're going to click over here and make sure that rubber band is not selected. Okay. Make sure that auto add and delete is selected. Let's see where that's at. Right here, auto add and delete. Choose no color from the fill pop-up menu. So here's your fill pop-up menu. If you click on that swatch, choose the white with the red line. That stands for no. So no fill. Then choose a green color from the stroke pop-up menu. Here's your stroke. Click on that. Any green you want is fine with you. I chose the brightest one. And then enter 4 for the stroke width. I'm going to enter 4 and hit enter. In the stroke options window, choose center, which is the second option from the align menu. So click over here on your stroke and then go over to align. And then the center is the second option. Make sure that is checked. Okay. Drawing a straight line. Number 1 on the bottom of page 192. It says click the Path tab to bring that path panel to the front of the layers panel. So here's my paths. Here's my layers. If you do not see your paths, then you need to click on it. Once again, guys, you should know that anytime you do not see one of your panels, you need to go to Window and then click on whatever panel you need. So if my Paths panel is gone, I'm going to come over here and click on Paths, and then I'm going to be able to see it. Right now I know it's open because there's a check mark next to it. So I know it's open and visible. I just need to find it. Okay? If necessary, zoom in so that you can easily see the lettered points and blue dots on the shape template. Make sure you can see the whole template in the image window. Be sure to reselect the pen tool after you zoom in. So here's your zoom tool. If you need to zoom in, just click on it, zoom in, or if you need to zoom out, zoom out. I always get in the habit of double clicking on my hand tool, and that'll make your image as big as possible. It'll fill in the entire window. Once you do that, you need to go back and click on your pen tool. Number 3 on page 193, it says click point A on the first shape and release the mouse button, and you've created an anchor point. So right here, you're just going to click once to create an anchor point. I have a little blue dot right there. And then that creates the starting point for my path segment. Then now I'm going to click B. Just click and I have a straight line. Okay? Press enter or return to stop drawing. So right now this is an active shape. So if I continue to click on stuff, it's going to continue to make more straight paths. I don't want to do that. I'm going to hit backspace and that'll get rid of the last thing I've done. So click once here, click once here. Now I want to discontinue making additional anchor points. I want this path to stop. So now I hit enter on my keyboard. My individual points have disappeared, which means that this line segment is no longer active. Okay, see, the points have disappeared. All right, we're gonna work with those. That's a straight line segment. Now we're gonna work with drawing a curved line segment, which means we have to have curved anchor points. So I'm gonna go back and click, make sure my pen tool is active, and we're gonna click on point A to begin our line segment and release the mouse button. Now we're going to click on point B, but don't release the mouse button. Instead, drag the cursor to the blue dot to the right of the point B to create a curved path segment and a smooth anchor point. So this is going to be a smooth, not a corner anchor point. To make it smooth, I click, I'm holding my mouse button, And now I'm going to drag to point to the blue point to make that curved. These handlebars control the curve of my path. How far out I pull that anchor bar will control the curve. So now see, I click and drag. And then on D, you actually only have to click once and you're finished. Hit enter to discontinue drawing more anchor points. All right, we're over on page 194, and I've already done 3 and 4 on page 194. We're going to move on to number 5. Number 5 says click point A, and then click point B, then drag a, so we're making an S. So here we go. And it says click point A, and then click point B, and drag the cursor to the first blue dot. So click point A, and then click point B, and drag to the blue dot. Continue with points C, D, and E, and F. In each case, clicking the point and then dragging to the corresponding blue dots. So C, D, notice I can change the curve here, and E, and F. Click point G to create the final anchor point. And then enter or return to complete the path. All right, so you can see how you've made an S curve. Okay, so now we're going to work with drawing more complex shapes. So at the bottom on page 194, first I'm going to zoom out so you can see we're going to do this object next. Okay. It says click point A on the shape on the right side to set the first anchor point. Now you're going to press the Shift key as you click point B. Pressing the Shift key constrains the line so that it's perfectly straight. So press and hold Shift on your keyboard and then click B, and it makes a perfectly straight horizontal anchor point or line segment. Press the Shift key as you click points C, D, and E to create straight path segments. So C, D, and E. Click point F and drag to the blue dot to create a new curve. So we're going to have a new curve. Click point G and drag to the blue dot to create another curve, and then release the mouse button. Click point H, then press Alt as you click point H again to create a corner point. So we're going to click on this. Now we're going to, and I've released the mouse button. And now we're going to hit Alt and make this a corner point so that we can come out from this. Look at the little arrow that's, as I hit Alt, I create a little arrow next to my pen tool, and that means I'm going to convert that to an anchor, to a corner point, and then I can complete the path by clicking point A again. If you see the little circle next to the pen tool icon, that means that I'm completing a shape. Okay? Okay, so you do not, if you've completed a shape, you do not need to hit enter because this is complete. It's not going to continue. The path is not going to continue. Okay, so you can close your file without saving your changes.